Okay, what's up, folks? I'm back with another exciting episode, and I'm here with my co-host, Jonathan. Say hello, Jonathan.
Hey, how y'all doing? Hope you're doing well. It is Wednesday.
Yeah, Wednesday. I do have a question to ask. Are you political?
Yes, sir.
Okay, because I'm gonna be frank, I'm not. I mean, I vote. I tend to go Democrat, but I'm just not into politics. Now, does that make me a bad person?
No, that doesn't make you a bad person at all. But the main thing is you just need to be able to, when an important issue comes up, like you said, make sure you vote because people forget how important their vote is.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
especially our people. So many people died for you to vote. Then, you got to be at least some active.
Yeah, I mean, I'm familiar with that. I just don't have a whole lot of faith in politicians. I mean, I'm just being honest. And to me, whether you're on the red side or blue side, to me, I don't see a whole lot of difference. And a lot of us tend to forget that Biden at one time, I'm not saying he's that way now, at one time was somewhat of a northern segregationist.
Oh, you don't have to tell me that. I know.
Oh,
I mean,
okay.
you
So,
got to remember when it comes to this stuff, it's like you got to choose the lesser of
the
of the
lesser of the
two.
evils.
You know what I mean?
Yeah,
And between
yeah,
him and Trump, look at the peace you have now without Trump. There's no late night tweets. There's
yeah,
no,
yeah,
I was just telling my aunt today. I said, when have you heard anybody called ugly today, or or you know what
yeah.
I mean? Or you tell
Somebody who looks
somebody,
like a
shut up.
dog. Yeah, yeah,
And what? Look at the news. The news is respected now.
yeah,
Forward in the past. If you just go back 3 weeks ago, if you tell somebody something you heard on the news, they say, "Hey, that's fake news." But you
yeah.
don't even hear that term anymore.
It's funny because a couple of Trump supporters I know, one of them is melanated like us. And after the incident went down on January 6th, I mentioned something about, boy, there's a lot of fake news that went down the other day. I haven't heard from neither one of them.
Well, I tell you, the thing that really broke my heart is I used to go to this international church. It was mixed, and I worked with this one guy. We were both deacons at the church. And even recently, his daughter, she ran away. We all went to look for her and everything. But to make a long story short, is he's a Trump supporter, and all because I told him that the insurrection, he really doesn't want to believe it was an insurrection. And the next thing I know, I look and saw that he cut me off. He unfriended me and everything. And what shocked me was I told him, like I just said, I'm into politics. But like I said, I thought, I don't care what you believe, whatever faith you're in, but I'm just saying, I thought Christianity trumped Trump. You know what I'm just saying? But here's this guy, he wanted help finding his daughter, all this other stuff, we've done all through the years, but just because of his loyalty to Trump and just because I'm not loyal, and this guy even made a list. He listed all the senators that all of these, like these five, like these ones now, all the ones that are against Trump. He made a list of them, and I think it's really ridiculous.
Now, did he do that with previous presidents like Bush or, previous
Oh well,
red presidents?
This is the funniest thing is like earlier in the year. I said, midway last year, like during the summer, he got sick, and he was hollering about health care, and he thought Trump was really going to make a health care plan. And as we see, Trump didn't even provide anything with even the virus. Now they're looking for a stockpile, and it turned out there was an Operation Warp Drive was a lie.
Well, see, that's what get me about when people would complain about Obamacare. And what other option was out there? Because before Obamacare, to me, things were kind of bad if you didn't have health care. So at least Obamacare to me was a start. I know people who got health care for pretty much the first time when they got Obamacare. Then all
Oh,
of a sudden, uh, you're going to vote against your best interest. And
well, it's
especially
just
if
like,
you got something, you know, chronic, not saying terminal, chronic, and you're going to vote against your best interest. It's hard for me to sympathize with somebody like that.
oh, well, it's just like in the Middle East, right? I mean, those people rather starve. You know, they tried to give them things from the Red Cross,
Yeah,
and they had to put a box with it with what they call the Red Crescent
yeah,
because they rather starve than eat something where it has a cross. So I mean, I mean, it's good to, like you said. I think, like you just said, I think the key word is the ideologue. I mean, are you going to be that stuck to some ideological that you rather die than take help from your fellow man?
yeah, yeah. Because in fact, I remember I watched some little short documentary. I guess it took place in Oklahoma, one of them little states in that. But this lady, she needed Obamacare. Her
Hmm.
thing is she didn't vote for Obama. She didn't like Obama. Therefore, her biggest problem was that it was called Obamacare, even though she needed it. And
Well, people
previous presidents didn't help out.
well people forget the true name of it is the Affordable Care Act.
Yeah.
I mean, that's the actual name of it.
But I
But
mean, Obamacare was supposed to be a
but they
nasty nickname.
to make it people hate it. That's why the Republicans called it Obamacare
But
because
he decided to own it. That's
oh,
the thing.
definitely.
Yeah, he decided to own it, and I guess that kicked them off as well. So I'm kind of like, I mean, come on, guys. I mean, it's there to help. At least that's what I would think. It's
Well, what do
there
they?
to help.
But what do they say? You can lead a horse to water, but what? You can't make them drink.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. But I guess it's because of little things like that. I'm just not into politics, even though, like I say, I vote. What made me, I stopped voting years ago, but what started me again when I found out I can do the absentee ballot. So I
Well, you got to
mail in
remember,
my,
you got
huh?
to be political because sometimes what your street needs to be paved. You need because remember the way politics work, the squeaky wheel gets the oil. So I mean, if you know them
Yeah,
and you're able to squeak, you're able to get some oil. So I mean, like I just said, you don't have to love it, but it's a necessary evil.
yeah, and that's exactly what it is. In my opinion, it's a necessary evil. What can I say? I, if I could do without politicians, I would. I mean, it just because to
Well, no,
me,
you
I
got
don't,
to.
huh?
But you got to remember, everything needs leadership, right? You know, what I mean, it's like when you're a kid. I mean, what when your dad was gone, everybody run crazy around the house. As soon as
Yeah,
dad come home, I mean, hey, everything needs a little order. You know what I mean?
I mean, and I do understand that. I mean, I do understand that
Like I just,
politicians are
you don't have to
somewhat
love.
needed, huh?
You don't have to love it. You just got to realize it's just necessary,
Yeah, it is. Again, and it's that necessary evil thing that is there. Is there.
right?
So what can I say? I don't know much to say about it because it's there.
There you go. Well, like I just said, and then remember, the change isn't with you, right? I mean,
Yeah.
remember, you got to speak out too, because I mean, that's what we've learned. The worst thing is, especially with Trump, is not that you disagree with him; it's just that you don't even speak out. A lot of people knew what he was doing is wrong, and now finally they're speaking out about it.
Okay.
A lot of the reason why Trump is doing what he did was because the people empowered him. They didn't speak out against him.
Yeah.
They knew it was wrong, but they let him do what he did.
On a different note, you watched that Salt and Pepper movie, right?
Oh yeah, that was good.
Okay. See, to me, it was too linear. I, uh, okay. I could kind of guess what was going to happen, how they got together. They start to rise. two women don't get along with each other. They break apart. Then they kind of get together back at the end.
Right.
That was kind of predictable to me. And
well, we already knew their story. I mean, they've been telling it all
yeah,
along. I mean, the movie was just a little ad, an ad item. I mean, the thing that got me was they didn't even really look like them. You know what I mean? Especially when they were younger. I
yeah,
mean,
yeah,
why they got these old women playing Salt and Pepper? Because I mean,
yeah.
they themselves, even at the end, they themselves look even younger than the characters.
And another thing was the Spinderella part. The way they she was there, but she wasn't really there. And
Well,
oh,
but let me ask you this though: isn't that in every group? Look at New Edition. I mean, what? Bobby Brown dropped out. Look at
but in the
boy,
movie, he was all there. I mean, you
look at
saw that
even
rise and fall and the conflict in the movie.
right. Look
Now,
at Boy to Men, the guy with the deep voice. He fell out with him, right? I mean, every
yeah, I never
group.
saw a movie. There's a Boys and the Men movie.
Not I don't know if you've seen him. Anyway, he's been on the talk show circuit.
Oh,
But
okay.
the bass singer, he said that how they cut him out or other things. So I mean,
Yeah,
that happens in all groups. I
yeah.
mean,
I guess with me, as far as Spinderella was concerned, she's the only one that I ain't gonna say I met her, but we kind of had a moment at the Marshall Warfield show once. So
right.
I knew her when I didn't, I paid attention to her when I didn't pay attention to the other two. So that's why I kind of hated to see that. But
Well, you got to
yeah,
remember too, though. There's two sides to every story, right?
yeah, yeah. I know they fired her like last year, the year before, but damn, I mean,
What
she was
what what,
there.
what did they say? There's your lie, my lie, and
Yeah,
some middle is the truth, right?
yeah. It's just like when you watch the New Edition movie.
Right.
One thing they left out, there was another kid that started up with him that he just couldn't cut the mustard. So, he was written out of the script. Nobody
Hey,
really knows about him.
well, let's even go to in the reality. I mean, there was another young woman before Rosa Parks, right? That
Yeah,
had problems with, but I mean, she was an unwed mother,
yeah,
so she had the
yeah.
wrong image. That's why they got Rosa Parks. She's married and a solid citizen. So I mean, every story. I mean, even in our fraternity, I'm an alpha. I mean, one of the members they cut him out. I mean, so
You're
it's
talking
like,
about one of the seven jewels?
yeah, one of our
Yeah.
jewels. So
I,
there,
I heard about that.
so I mean, I've learned in every group, there's always going to be some conflict. So I mean,
Yeah.
and they're not gonna. And the sad thing is, the survivors, they're going to tell the story and cut out the one that that's left out.
In the Panhellenic, there's another fraternity. It was a Gamma. I can't think of the name. It was green and gold. It was
Hmm.
something with Gamma in it. And it's pretty much written out the history.
Oh, definitely.
Yeah, and I'm kind of like, at least, you know, um, have somewhere where they were there. They just didn't make it. Like I understand historically, KSI almost didn't make it, but they were able to pull through.
Right.
And that other fraternity is some kind of Gamma. They, especially considering the time, they just didn't make it. And I'm pretty sure all the members are deceased by now. So there's nobody to really talk them up. So,
Oh,
those kind of things happen.
but I'm probably sure there are children or someone there to tell the story. But the thing is when when you don't have the power,
Yeah,
then you're not able to
yeah,
tell the story.
yeah, yeah. Okay, I think I got to make a run. So I'm going to head on out. And I'm glad, like I say, we had this little showing and hopefully we're going to do another one real soon.
Oh, definitely. It's always a pleasure to be with. I said we're gonna call you Eddie Kane, but you said we can't call you Eddie
No, 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 no,
Kane.
no, no. Eddie
What,
Kane
what,
is an iota phi theta. I'm
what
phi beta
so
sigma.
So I'm like Caucasians. We always got to have a short name for you. So, what you prefer? What Eddie Bug Smith?
No, it's basically Eddie Lee.
Eddie Lee?
Yeah, it's a long story, but we'll get to that later.
All right, then, Eddie Lee. Well, thanks for having me on the show, and we'll be looking forward to doing the next one.
Okay, and you guys who are watching, please hit the like button. Again, if you don't do it for me, do it for Jonathan.
Oh,
At the
definitely.
very least.
I appreciate your likes.
Yeah, hit the like button. And, it wouldn't hurt if you hit the subscribe button as well. But at least hit the like button. And we'll do this later on.